All right. I am live. Thank goodness. I was having some issues. Oh man, God is so good. Well, hello everybody. My name is Annette L. Anderson and this is TNT Tuesday Night Talk. This is where we take flight and soar. We speak, orate, articulate, and reverberate. When you come on, if you would please subscribe, like, and share. I would appreciate it. I am going to I'm going to share with a couple of people. I wasn't on last week and I'm back this week. So let me share. Give me a couple of minutes here while I'm waiting for you guys to come on. So I'm excited about tonight. My plan is not to be on long. We shall see. So I'm going to share to some people, and hopefully I can get some people to come on and be on here with me tonight. All righty. All righty. All righty. Okay, here we go. We're good to go. We're good to go. I did share with some folks. No, no, one more person I need to share with. All righty, give me a second. Okay. Oh, there we go. All righty. All my life I always spelled my sister name W-E-N, but actually it's W-I-N. There. There we go. All right, good, good, good. So I've already shared. I'm gonna give you guys a couple of minutes to come on. All right, here we go. All right, my apologies. I needed to share and hopefully get some people to come on and share with me tonight. Um, I come on every Tuesday. Of course, I wasn't here last Tuesday because I have a business that I'm trying to get off the ground, and so some Tuesdays I'm trying to make some of the crafts and stuff that I make. Eventually, I'm going to post them on social media. Some of them are behind me. If you can see just a couple of them, it's some of the things that I do. Hey Sharon, and so last week I was trying to make sure I work on those. My goal is to get some of my craft done because I'm going to be doing a showing pretty soon. So that's why I wasn't here last week. But I'm excited tonight. I'm excited as always. Um, I was hoping, I'm not sure, but I need to offer my condolences and to Miss Juanita Shopshine, but also her sister. Um, she could usually be on here every Tuesday with me, so my condolences. That's a tough place to be. Been there, done that. I never lost a sister, but I sure haven't had loss in my life. So I just wanted to definitely offer up my condolences. So again, my name is Annette L. Anderson, and this is TNT Tuesday Night Talk, and this is where we take flight and soar. We speak, orate, articulate, and reverberate, and we just talk about some things. Sometimes I share what's going on um, in society, and of course, there's been a lot of stuff going on in the news about our former president, and the list go on and on and on. So I'm not going to rehash none of that. Listen, they beat that down in the ground. It is what it is. Um, you can't change his what was. You can say what happened, and then but you can't change it. And so I've seen a lot of people trying to change the narrative, but the evidence speaks for itself. So I don't care. I just know that things happen, and it's just so many other things that's going on. Also, we need to pray for our children, and kids are getting ready to go back to school soon, and it's not like when we were in school. We didn't have had to take any kind of classes to learn what to do if somebody come in there and start shooting. We were not exposed to that kind of stuff. So children are exposed to stuff that kids should not be exposed to. If the truth be told, they just shouldn't, but they are. And so we would need to pray for our children and even our community. the things that's happening, things. Craziness. I do a lot of research, and I'm on always looking in the news, and man, it's some craziness. But if the truth be told, when you look at what's going on, the Bible more or less is fulfilling itself, and so that's just the way it is. So yeah, um, my responsibility, my job, or what my anointing is to encourage people, to help propel and push people into destiny, and to assure them that even though it don't look like it's coming together, I do declare if you start working and you start believing, if you start stepping out on what you believe you've been called to do, and start doing it. And that's one of the things that I found even in my own personal journey, was that when I stepped out, that was the biggest move. The initial move, that was the biggest move that I ever made when I stepped out, especially even on here and a couple other things that I do. It was very difficult, and I really thought I was going to fail, especially my other business, Exquisite Design. I really didn't. I had ideas in my head, and I wrote them down on paper. But when it started coming to light, and I could see those thoughts and ideas and come to fruition, that was exciting to me. And I want to encourage you that it's exciting when you write something down. You have a vision. You could see it. Nobody else could see it, of course, because of your vision. Then all of a sudden, what happens is you see that thing start manifesting. You see it coming to life. You see that business, that dream, that organization, that thing you've been talking about, dreaming about, desiring to do. All of a sudden, it happens, and that is what is so exciting to me. And I just want people to be encouraged, because we living in a time. I've always believed, now I haven't always done it, that we should have a residual income. Even if you have a job, we should have income other than that job, some kind of way. While we sleep, we need to be making money. And so, but those thoughts and ideas was came later in my life. And so even now, I try to tell young people, listen, put a little piece, like my mom used to say. My mama said, always have a little piece of money. Put a piece of money back. Learn how to invest and do those things. So when you get my age and you get ready to retire, you won't have those struggles. You won't have to, pin and pinch, and you won't have to like, man, I got X amount of dollars. What I'm going to do? And so many times, especially when people retire, because with your Social Security and retirement, a lot of times it's not enough to maintain. And so it's so important. I know I used to work with this young lady, and I just want to kick myself. She, during this time, this is when we got the newspaper. This was before social media, because I was on this job 37 years. So this was before all this stuff we have now. And she would get the newspaper every day, and she would look in the newspaper at all. I used to say, what's all those little teeny numbers she looking at? But she was investing, and she ended up paying her 30-year mortgage off in 15 years, because she was investing. And I would actually watch her. What's she doing? And we would be at lunch, and I would look over. I said, oh, there she go again, looking in the paper. And so many times I wish that I would have sat by her, because she was a sweet young lady, and she had no problem sharing what she knew. But the problem was was not, I was not open to really see what she was doing. And so here this young lady, her name was Lan Lee. Here's Lan just doing phenomenal. And she retired. She had this house, they had this business, and then she ended up moving to Orlando. I saw her recently. She said, "You come to Orlando? Come to my house." I thought myself, Lan Lee ain't coming to your house, but thank you for the invite. But I thought about that today when I was thinking about Lan, how she could see where she was seeing where she wanted to go. And I think the problem is that oftentimes we don't have vision. We can't see past today. All we're happy we could just pay our light bill, water bill, phone bill, and the mortgage, the rent is paid. We're good to go. But no, we have to look past that, because we have to live our life as though we'll be here tomorrow. I know people say tomorrow's not promised to you, but what if it is? I know we like to say that, but you don't know what's promised to you. I mean, it sounds good to say that, but no, what if tomorrow is promised? And then what are you doing about getting ready for your tomorrow? And that's why it's so important that you step out. That's why it's so important that you do what you need to do to help you get to where you need to be. And so, especially if you're young, I heard this lady said something so interesting. She was on social media, and they was really getting on this lady really hard because she said, I don't invest in a lot of toys. Yes, I get my kids toys. She said, but I'm teaching my children how to invest. I'm teaching my children how to buy stocks. And I was thinking like, wow. So now not even as a young person, they're learning how to do these things. And so many times we just focus on what we got to do right now. But listen, it's so much more to life. I'm every day I get up, I'm seeing new stuff. I'm 63, and I'm still, I feel sometimes like I almost just got here on this earth, because the moment I think I know something, that I find out I don't know nothing. I find out there's so much to do, so much to learn. Start tapping into some of the things that God have called me to do. I started tapping into that. And I was like, wow, but what if I had this type of tenacity 10, 20, 30 years ago? Okay, I don't. So I have to start where I am. But for those of you who are young people, even older, I'm not just saying it, throw the rest of us out to pasture because we're older. But what I'm saying is this, that we have to learn how to see uh, the greatness and the unlimited possibilities that we have. Because the problem, I feel like one of the problems, that we don't even look at ourselves out often as the greatness that's live on the inside of us. We don't look at ourselves as that we have great potentials. I'm doing more now than I ever done before. I see stuff now, like I've always had thoughts and visions and dreams, but of course, I figured, not me. I ain't gonna never do this. I ain't gonna never do that. But that's not true. That's not true. That we have to learn how to step out regardless, and regardless of what it may look like, but we have to do it. Because then we'll look back 10, 20, 30 years from now, and no disrespect to Walmart greeters, but then we'll look back and we'll be at Walmart. Can I help you? No disrespect, because some people work because they want to, but I just use that as an analogy, because there's nothing wrong with working if that's what you want to do. But see, I don't want to work for nobody ever again. I don't. I don't know what my life is going to be like, but I know that I want to learn how to take what I have, whatever that may be, and whatever you have, whatever your stuff is that you can do, and learn how to maximize it. Learn how to make it as great as it can be at this time in your life, and begin to pour into it, and begin to sow into it, and let me just go there with tithes. I have no problem with the tithes, and if you want to tithe and that's what God called you to do, please tithe. But you know what, I so many times in church I hear say, tithe into good soil. What better soil is it than to tithe into your own business, your own organization? That's good soil. If you say God told you to do it, if you say God anointed you to do it, then that's soil you need to sow into. Of course, if God so leads you to sow other places, of course you do. Because I mean, that's an individual decision. But when you talk about good soil, I believe the movement is good soil. I believe, my Annaisms and hey girl and give, those are all good soil. And that's why I'm learning how to sow into what God has given me. And one of the difficult parts, I think, we I often wonder, I'm going to say, I often wonder, if you anything like me, when you look at yourself in the mirror, really, really, really tell me the truth. What you see? I mean, I'm not talking about the reflection. I've learned how to look past my reflection. I say, okay, God, show me where you're taking me. Give me some insight. While you're taking wherever it is, show me some of the innovative ideas that I had, that I can utilize. Show me how I can put together, like I do craft. Show me how to put craft together. There's a lot of people who do the craft, but show me an innovative way, something that somebody else is not doing, and to take my business to the next level. And so that uh, Anita said, I love working for me. Amen. So that's why it's so important that we sow into ourselves. We're so into those things that God called us to do. We sow into that. Yeah, and because that is so important. I know I hear because when this Creflo, when he said what he said, I didn't listen to the whole thing. And of course, people like take one little part of a sermon and just run with it, But you know, still, I said, "Oh, I'm a soul, and I already, I'm a curse with a curse." I'm like, "Oh, well, Lord God, please make people stop saying that, because if you have a business that God, well, I'm talking about God gave you now, then that's God, that's good soul, y'all. Stop, and the problem is we give to everything, but not to what God have given us to do, and that's so important. And so, tonight, I just want to share a couple of things that I'm going to be gone, and I'm going to just reflect and just thank God for everything that He's done for me. And so the scripture I'm going to use, I want to talk about the prize. Of course, I wasn't here last week, but week before last, I used the scripture. I pressed toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of God in Jesus, and Christ Jesus. And that prize, it was very interesting when I looked at the word prize in this particular text. It means to act as an umpire. I said, wow, that was kind of like very interesting when I looked at that umpire, you know. And it says it's a award to a victor. It's a reward, a recognition that follows triumph. So when anytime you're engaged in any type of say if you're running for like Anita used to do when she was running for the queen of the school and so many other things that she did. So at the end of that, there's a prize to be had, whether that prize is money, monetary gain, or maybe it's a trophy, but there's a prize. And we went to Sanford about a month ago, and my grandson was involved in something, and the prize was $500. And he sung and he won the money. And I was like, I hope it's not one of those things that they say, we'll give you the money later type deal. But actually they gave him $500 bills, so there's a prize to be had with your business. It's one thing to write it down, like we like to say, write the vision down, make it plain, which is scripture. But what happens is if that prize, that organization, that prize never come to fruition. So you have it on paper, but you never make that step. You never go forward and do what you need to do in order to get that thing off the ground. And so we have to learn that whatever we do, there's a prize. That if you start an organization, I'm a trust God. Yeah, well, trust God. But if you start an organization or business, you want to say, if you, like I do with craft, at some point, don't you want the prize? My prize is to sell this stuff and have monetary gain. And my organization gives. And hey, girl, my prize for those two organizations, they're part of the organization, is to reach out to young girls and women from 5 to 105. My prize is that I'll say something or do something to elevate their thought pattern, to elevate them to the point that they can stop thinking about, I got to pay my lights, I got to pay my water. No, yeah, that's wonderful. But what happens, past that? And elevate our mind and elevate our thought pattern, and causes us to really, really, really want to get to a place where there's growth. There's growth. And so that's that prize. If you got that organization, Anita have a whole bunch of organization. I told you she's Jamaican, but each one of them serves a purpose, each one of them. And so the ultimate gain is to eventually, like, some of those organizations are almost run themselves. Now there may be some that she have to have hands on, but there are others that will eventually be able to run themselves. And so that's what is so important, that we get where we need to be. Now, I'm just not on here just to say, oh, we need money, money, money. But if you're gonna do some of the things that you believe you've been called to do, if you're gonna do some of the things that God have called you, and you know without a doubt, then it's gonna take money. It's gonna take you putting in the work. It's gonna take you trying to figure some things out. It's gonna take you maybe being up late at night. It's gonna take you maybe be on your face, say, God, give me strength. It's gonna take you to reach out to other people when you don't quite understand what you're doing. And that's why it's so important with businesses when you're trying to get to that prize. In this particular text, when it said press toward that prize, of course, that's trying to get to Jesus. That's trying to make sure that you get that connection that you need. And as it is in the spirit, so it is in natural, that we're trying to connect. We're trying to get to a place that we not only make a difference in our lives, but we'll be able to make a difference for other people's lives. And at the end of the day, yes, I want to do this. Yes, I want to build. I want to do this and other. But I also want to touch the lives of people. I also want to be in place, when God began to open the doors, because of course this is just the beginning. But when He began to open the doors, and I can see and can be able to step into those doors and make a difference to people. I want to be able, because I live in Daytona, I want to be able to maybe take a freshman year of college and get 10 young girls, 10 young ladies, and say, hey, I'm going to help y'all while you're in in this college. I would like to be able to give them a stipend, because sometimes they have to work because the parents may not be able to give them all they need, but I want to be able to have stipends. And so my stipulation would be that you got to go to school, you got to do have good grades, you got to, and then help them those 4 or 5 years they're in college. That's always been a desire of mine, to pour into somebody's life, and to maybe one day they say, you know what, I thank her for all she's done, for all she helped me out, not so I can get the pat on the back, but that'd be awesome. But also because I want to make a difference in somebody's life, and I want to be instrumental in helping that person reach that prize, whether it be a degree, whether it be to help them get a car, whatever I can do. Because I raised 3 daughters, so I know the importance. That's why it's so important to me to reach out to young ladies, because I raised 3 daughters, and I understand the dynamics of raising young ladies. It can be challenging, but it also can be rewarding. And so I just wanted to touch on the prize. So like I said, I'm not going to be on here long tonight, but I just wanted to reach out and share. And again, my condolences to a couple of people who normally are on here. I know the young lady that passed away. I don't think she had been on here in a minute, but her sister would come on, and I know them. And so we're living in a time with craziness that we have to learn how to be compassionate and patient, because the least little thing, people snapping, people driving all kind of crazy, right on your bumper, people shooting people just, it's like almost like they're being bombarded with all kind of evilness. I don't know how to describe it, but I do know we have to be careful. Even I had an incident, and I always had incidents. A young lady snapped at me. I looked at her, and I just stared at her for a minute. And I said, God, I was standing up there praying. I said, God, please get me to the point that I don't act unseemly. I don't want my witness to be tainted. Even at some point, if people come on and say, oh, that's a lady that was cussing people out in Wawa, like, oh boy. She ended up apologizing to me, because hold up, but wait a minute, don't say that, don't say that right now. She was busy. I looked at her. So I gave her a few minutes. I said, so can I talk now? And so when I explained to her, she said, I'm so sorry. But what if I just clicked on the lady? You see what I'm saying? Sometimes we have to, even though by nature, a lot of us are aggressive, because I don't let nobody talk to me any kind of way. I just can't. I can't. I just can't. But I'm learning that sometimes you have to be the bigger person, because, you just have to let love flow, even when you don't want to love them. And so I still was a little hot. I ain't gonna lie, I was a little hot on the collar. was a little harder to call her, but at the end of the day, I had to understand that I'm trying to build something. And when I say build, it's not just saying, "Oh, I'm gonna open this organization and people gonna flock in." Nah, because you don't know who you're gonna come across at what time. You don't know. You've been and clicked on somebody. You don't forgot about it. They never forget. It's child, I ain't finna, that's child, she ain't say, that's the ones that all that cussing. I saw it on social media. I saw it with Larry Reed with all that carrying on. I said, oh my God. And both of these people, Larry and the other man, are pastors. And I'm thinking like, you got to be kidding. Are y'all, so but what happens is it's so easy to get sucked in. And then once you say words, you can't retract them. I'm not saying we let nobody run over us. I'm saying just think first, because if I had not thought about it, I'd have let her have it with both barrels. No, I wouldn't have cursed her. Oh, but she'd have felt like she was cursed when I got through with her. But I said, God, thank you. And I walked away. I walked away actually feeling victorious after I got on being mad. I'm victorious. But you know what? But when we pressing toward the prize of the high calling, whatever that prize is in your life, just know that it's not gonna always be easy. It's like I say all the time, it's not always easy to come on here. It's not easy because I be like, okay, how many people gonna be on tonight? And it's I know we want to say it's not about numbers, but it is about numbers because of the fact that you want to reach people. You want to reach people. And I know I have some people who tell me they watch later. And so that's amazing. And I thank God for every opportunity that he give me. And I appreciate it. And like I said, with the movement, we're a movement. Well, movement got to move. And we know we're going to be traveling, going out of the country and stuff like that. So I say, God, prepare me, because you don't know what you're going to come across. You don't know what kind of people. You don't know the temperaments, and not just out of the country. Shoot, right around the corner, people acting a fool. Just, I mean, plumb acting a fool. And the bad part, especially for people who have a large platform, you know, when I was watching Mr. Reed, Larry Reed, and the other man, I can't even think his name, who says some very derogatory things about the young lady. I was very surprised at that. Now, and I'm not even challenging how is this man know the Lord or not, because that's not my business. But I think what he did, he allowed, because they were making fun, and I know they want to act like, how mom would say, mom used to say, I mean, I can't remember the saying she was saying, but it's like you do something, you throw your hands out there, but then you hide them like you ain't did nothing. Oh yeah, they did something. I don't care if he got 500,000 followers. They made fun and they were laughing. And I know he said it was all in jest, and he said it was what he said. It was just commentary. He didn't really mean it, but words have power. Words have power. And I know we have a lot of followers, and they, oh, the guy, he was wrong. What? At all of them was, because social media can be a scary. It's a good place. It's a good place. It's a place that God have opened to use, but also it can be very detrimental. And yeah, and I will say, the gentleman, whoever he was, he really like clicked. I was thinking, sir, you need to hang up the phone, get off live. Because when you get to that point that you start, attacking people and cursing or whatever he did, get off alive, and get somewhere. And where people don't, you don't have to be exposed, because that will follow you forever. It will follow you forever. Well, that was just my take on that. I didn't comment on Mr. I would call him Mr. Reed, but Larry Reed post, simply because people say, well, they don't agree with Larry, but they be on his post. I'm thinking about, but I can disagree and still like you. I don't have to say you right and still like you. I didn't disagree with a lot of stuff, but I still like people. So, but my point is, there's a prize. Now, with some platform, people won't leave, and that's their business, and because it's a pretty a good post, very informative. But I'm just saying, for not Mr. Reed, but for the other gentleman, that he allowed that situation to cause him to probably act out of character. And maybe that is his character. I don't know. I don't know. But we have to know that regardless of what happens, that we have to, as best as we can. I know we may have our moments, but there's a prize, and I'm trying to get there. I've lived my life with the foolishness, with the cursing, with the fighting, with the all this, with the clubbing. And I've lived through all of that, and it had its season. It had its season. But I know there's a prize that's bigger than me, it's a prize that's bigger than you. And so whatever you've been called to do, whatever that thing may be, just be encouraged and know that God has it. I know we can get caught up. I know things can get ugly, and we can act so crazy sometimes. I know, but on the other hand, you got to understand that you've been called for such a time as this. This is a season. This is a season. I believe. You know, I don't care whether you got one follower. It don't matter what you got. I believe this is a season that God's going to elevate. I really believe that. I see the elevation of His saint, other children of God. I believe it. Other people may not. Well, that's them. I have to be accountable for me because the Bible says, all knees will bow. So I'd have to bow on my own rusty knees. But I just believe there's a time of elevation. So don't allow situations, don't allow people to pull you out of character, don't allow things to get in the way because at the end of the day, which is something I love to say all the time, at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, I believe that things is getting ready to turn around for you. It may not look good for you right now, but I want to encourage somebody with your business. I want to encourage somebody with your organization, whatever you've been called to do. I want to encourage you to let you know that even though you cannot always see it, because I can easily say, you know what, that's it. I'm gonna shut TNT down. I ain't gonna do this no more. No, I'm gonna keep pressing until God say otherwise. When He say shut it down, I'll shut it down. So until that happens, then that happens. But I just want everybody to know, first of all, I love you. I'm so glad to just be a part of this movement. I'm so glad to be a part of TNT, SOAR, Hey Girl, the list go on Power Walk Sunday, Movers and Shakers. So we do a lot of stuff. We do, and we reach a lot of people. So I thank God for using me in this season to reach people, whether they come on tonight, whether they look later. Because I have several people tell, oh, I'll be watching you. I say, well, when? One lady was telling me that. And she said, oh, yeah, you were saying so. I said, what? When that happened? I never seen them before. But they knew. They knew. And, so I think with YouTube, you don't see people when they come on. You're not privy to that. But I've had several people say, oh, yeah, I watch you. I said, wow. Like I said, God, nobody be watching. But see, like I told a young lady recently, I said, you know what? People watching you even when you don't know they're watching. She has a business. And I told her she has a phenomenal business that is beautiful. Sam, it's a beautiful business. And so people watch it. So just know people are watching. They see what you're doing. You may think nobody even paying you no attention. But, if it's God centered and He called you to do it, trust me, somebody's going to come along and go. Because I've had people stop me in the store. And one lady said, I look like I've never seen her on there. Ever. Never. But, you just never know. But anyway, that's it for me tonight. I just want to talk about the prize and keep pushing, keep going. Sometimes you have to go alone. You have to be like David. David, even though he was the king and whatever, he had all these men with him, but these men want to kill him. And Ziklag, what the enemy came and stole their wives and children, and the David men folks was mad at him. But you know what? And they wanted to really kill him. But David got somewhere. He said, I got to encourage myself. So sometimes, y'all, you have to encourage yourself because it can be lonely, but it can be lonely. But as long as God is there walking with you, it'll come together. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen in my business. I've seen it. I see something never in a million years thought it would happen, but I saw it come to fruition when I went out and did my first showing with some of the things that I do. So, hey, be encouraged, y'all. So be encouraged. So that's it for me tonight. Like I said, I really didn't want to stay on long. I just wanted to come on and just drop a nugget or two. And I'm going and my dog's at the door crying. Bless his heart. But anyway, my name is Annette L. Anderson, and this is TNT Tuesday Night Talk. This is where we take flight and soar. We speak, orate, articulate, and reverberate. In other words, we just talk about some stuff. So I will be back next Tuesday, and also tomorrow night. I'm with the movement. So if you would join us, the same platform at 7 o'clock with my partner Anita Faye Wilson, I would appreciate it. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow night. So be blessed. Good night and enjoy the rest of your week.